Let's dive right into the heart of the matter. Time, as we all know, is a finite resource, a constant, an entity that is bestowed upon each of us in equal measure. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no more, no less. Yet we often find ourselves enmeshed in the eternal predicament of not having enough time. We claim it's reason we couldn't finish that report, or why we didn't hit the gym, or why we haven't called our parents in weeks. We say, if only we had more time. But let's pause for a moment and really think about it. Is it truly the scarcity of time hinders us? Or is it our mismanagement, our procrastination, our skewed prioritization? We all possess the same hours, the same minutes, the same seconds. Yet some people seem to accomplish so much more. They write books, build businesses, run marathons, and still find time to spend with their loved ones. How is it that they can do all this and more, while many of us struggle just to get through the day? The answer is quite simple, really. It's not about time. It's about making time. Time will not magically expand to accommodate our needs. It is we who need to carve out the moments from our day to do what truly matters. So, the next time you find yourself saying, "I don't have time," stop, reflect. Is it really the lack of time, or is it your unwillingness to take responsibility? Is it easier to blame time than to admit that you didn't prioritize correctly? Because here's the harsh truth. Time is not an excuse, it's an opportunity. An opportunity to be seized, treasured, and utilized with the utmost wisdom and efficiency. Remember, when you keep saying you have no time, then you will never have time. Tomorrow, the mystical land where 99% of all productivity, motivation, and achievement is stored. Or so we believe. Procrastination, the art of delaying tasks, is a habit we've all succumbed to at one point or another. It's the siren song that lures us with the promise of a tomorrow that will somehow be more suited to the task at hand. But in this enticing dance with time, we often forget an essential truth. Tomorrow is a mirage, an illusion we craft in our minds. Picture this. You have a task, perhaps a report to complete or a chore to finish. You tell yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," and you feel a sense of relief wash over you. But what happens when tomorrow arrives? More often than not, you find another tomorrow waiting at the horizon. The task remains undone and the cycle perpetuates. It's a self-made trap, a treadmill of delays that keeps you running but never allows you to reach your destination. This habit of pushing things to an ambiguous tomorrow is more than just a delay tactic. It's a form of self-sabotage. It eats away at your productivity, erodes your motivation, and eventually tarnishes your achievements. It's like a sandcastle that you build at the edge of the sea, only for the waves of time to wash it away. So how can we escape this trap? The answer lies in understanding that tomorrow is not a guarantee, it's a possibility. The only real tangible moment we have is now. It's this moment that we must seize to turn our plans into actions, our dreams into reality. Remember, every task delayed is an opportunity missed, a moment wasted. And in the grand scheme of life, these moments add up, creating a chasm between who we are and who we could be. Take note, when you keep saying you will do it tomorrow, then your tomorrow will never come. Scene script, busy, a word we often use to describe our life, but have you ever stopped to think about what it truly means to be busy? We've all heard it, and we've all said it. I'm just so busy. But what does being busy really entail? Is it a constant flurry of activity, a never-ending to-do list, a schedule so packed that there's no room for anything else? Or could it be perhaps a convenient excuse, a shield we use to hide from responsibilities or tasks we would rather avoid? Let's dig a little deeper. Being busy is not inherently negative. It can mean that you're engaged, productive, and making the most of your time. However, the problem arises when being busy becomes a perpetual state, an automatic response that we use without thinking. "I can't, I'm busy," we say, even when the reality might be different. Sometimes we confuse being busy with poor time management. We feel overwhelmed, not because there's too much to do, but because we're not effectively managing our time. We might be prioritizing the wrong tasks, allowing distractions to derail our focus, or simply procrastinating. It's not about having too much on our plate, but rather about not arranging the food properly. The crucial thing is to distinguish between being truly busy and simply being unorganized. It's about recognizing when we're using busyness as a smokescreen to hide behind. Once we acknowledge this, we can start to take control of our time, prioritize effectively, and become more productive. Remember, we're not advocating for a life devoid of busyness. The goal is not to eliminate all tasks and responsibilities, but to manage them effectively, to be mindful of our time and to ensure that we're not just busy but productive, to ensure that our busyness is purposeful, not just a knee-jerk reaction to our inability to manage time. Bear in mind, when you keep saying you are busy, then you are never free. So let's take a step back, reassess our schedules and ask ourselves, are we truly busy or are we just avoiding something? The answer might surprise you. Tick, says the clock, tick, tick. What you have to do, do quick. But why is it that we feel this constant pressure from time? It's an interesting question, isn't it? This ever-present ticking, this constant reminder of time passing, is something we're all too familiar with. Picture this: the clock on your wall, the watch on your wrist, the digital display on your phone. They all tick in unison, a ceaseless rhythm that is as much a part of our lives as the air we breathe. This ticking of the clock serves as a reminder, a nudge, an insistent whisper in our ears saying, time's passing, make it count. But what does this ticking really mean? Is it a source of stress, a symbol of our mortality, a reminder of the things we haven't achieved? Or can it be something else? Can this ticking be a source of inspiration, a call to action, a motivator that propels us forward? Let's flip the narrative. Instead of viewing the ticking clock as a source of pressure, let's see it as a challenge. A challenge to utilize our time effectively, to accomplish what we set out to do, to make our days count. Think of the ticking as a heartbeat, a pulse, a rhythm to dance to. It's a beat that encourages us to move, to act, to get things done. The urgency that the ticking clock creates doesn't need to be a cause for stress. Instead, it can be a powerful motivator. It can push us to manage our time effectively, to prioritize our tasks, to focus on what truly matters. It can inspire us to take control of our time rather than letting time control us. The ticking clock is not our enemy, but a friend. It's a reminder of the preciousness of time, a call to cherish each moment, to live fully and meaningfully. So let's embrace the ticking. Let's dance to its rhythm and make each tick count. Remember, for time waits for no one. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The question is, how are you utilizing yours? Consider this. Effective time management doesn't mean cramming as many tasks into your day as possible. Instead, it's about simplifying how you work, getting tasks done faster, and relieving stress. It's about clearing away space in your life for the things that truly matter. It's about achieving a more balanced life. Start with setting goals, clear and well-defined ones. Understand what you want to achieve within a day, a week, a month, or a year. Having clear goals gives you a sense of direction, guiding you on how to allocate your time effectively. Next, prioritize. Not all tasks are created equal. Some are more important or more urgent than others. Learn to distinguish between what's important and what's urgent. Remember, tasks that align with your goals are the ones deserving of your time. Then, plan and schedule. This is where the rubber meets the road. Use tools, whether they're digital calendars or good old-fashioned planners, to map out your tasks. Break down larger tasks into manageable chunks and tackle them one at a time. Lastly, learn to delegate and say no. You can't do everything yourself. Delegate tasks that can be done by others so you can focus on what only you can do. And learn to say no to tasks that don't align with your goals or are not a good use of your time. Ultimately, managing your time is about taking responsibility for your own life. It's about making conscious choices so that you can spend more of your time doing things that are meaningful and valuable to you. So the next time you're about to say you don't have time, remember, no time is no excuse.